Are you always broke despite of a good income? Do you feel like you can't get ahead of your financial situation? Then you might have fallen into the trap of a few money habits that lead to this situation. In this video, we will discuss 8 of them. Now, before we dive into it, let me say this. We call them bad money habits because they lead to a result that you don't want, or at least are not 100% comfortable with, which is probably why you clicked on this video. It's important to understand though that with every decision we make and with every habit we develop, we get something out of it. Because your brain always wants you to be happy. The difference between bad money habits and good money habits is that bad money habits only serve you in the short term and good money habits serve you in the long term. Now, number 1. Not track your spending because you think you earn enough. And you probably do. It's this, I earn X amount of money every month, therefore I can afford to buy ABC. The tricky thing here is that our lifestyle automatically adapts to our income, and this happens very quickly. It's also called lifestyle creep. So the higher the amount of money in your bank account, the more your brain thinks, oh, there's more to spend. And it doesn't matter how high your income is. The world we live in will always give you the opportunity to spend more. There is no limit to luxury, unless we actively take the steps to keep our lifestyle slightly lower than our income. Or way lower, if that's what you're aiming for. Number 2, buy things with money you don't own. This happens when your lifestyle doesn't just match your income, but if it exceeds it, which means you're going into debt. That is particularly bad if you use it for things like clothes, furniture, or accessories. I think it's almost a little dangerous because you lose the relation of what your income allows you to buy. Of course, there are some exceptions, like big purchases like a house, or also the investment in yourself, which later in the future might lead to a higher income. Nevertheless, the general goal here should be to always be in the black numbers. Number 3, thinking you can always save later when you earn more. Now, we already know that this will never happen because of lifestyle creep. And I know it seems counterintuitive, but it's actually easier to save when you earn less. And that is for 2 reasons. Number 1 is the amount of money, the total amount of money that you save is lower. The more you earn, the harder it will become, especially when you're heading for a percentage that you want to save. Let's say you earn $1,000 a month and you put aside between $50 and $100. Just the amount of that number is not that high. If you earn $5,000 a month, the sum would be to put $500 aside, which purely psychologically might be harder because it's a higher number. The second reason is with a low income, you're already used to a not exceeding lifestyle. For example, if you're a student and you're saying, oh, I can't afford this or I don't want to afford this because money is tight this month, the people around you will understand. They may be even in the same situation as you. Now, if you earn a couple of thousand every month, you're already adapted to a quite luxury lifestyle and also might be surrounded by people with the same luxury lifestyle. So here, just psychologically, it will be harder to cut down. Number 4, trying to save at the end of the month. Surprise, there's probably not gonna be much left. And in my opinion, the most pressing thing here is that it makes you dependent on your willpower. During this whole time, the whole month, you will have this constant voice in your head. Oh no, I don't want to spend that much so that I can save something at the end. And it also completely takes the fun out of saving. Instead, you should save right after you receive your income. That makes it very easy because you don't see it in your bank account anymore if you put it in the savings account, and it makes it fun to see this number grow over time. By the way, if this is helpful for you, please click the like button. Number 5, keeping up with the Joneses. If you have friends that enjoy the very luxury lifestyle with fine dining and fine clothing, this might be difficult. Try to actively ask yourself, do I really need this? Do I really need that? Are there some areas where I can maybe cut down a little bit? It's not just about your friends though, it's about all the other influencers around you. This includes colleagues at work, your neighbors, and also TV and social media. Now, if you keep scrolling through Instagram and you see all the clothes and the jewelry and the cars and the watches, at some point it just makes you want to have them. And not even out of the necessity that you need something new, but it's just present there all the time. So then if you get the opportunity, because it's present, you just buy it. So maybe try to design your environment in a way that it gives you less desires. Number 6, not looking at the dollar. You know the situation when you're in a store and you're like, oh, this is only $1 or $2 or $3. This won't matter. But actually, the lower your income, the more important it is to look at these small amounts of money because they can add up. Again, ask yourself if you really need it, because all put together you can actually save a lot. Of course, if you're earning a high 4 figures or 5 figures amount of money every month, these little things won't make such a big difference. Then it might be helpful to look at the bigger expenses. Number 7, buying things immediately. Instead, maybe think about it 1 or 2 days if you really need it. Psychologists refer to this as impulse control. And the more expensive something is, the longer you should think about it. And then if you still want it after a couple of days or a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, then you can purchase it without feeling guilty or regretting it because you made a very conscious decision about it. And finally, number 8, not having an emergency fund. You know, for any of us, there occur situations where we have to pay for something that we think we didn't have to. For example, your car breaks down but you needed to go to work, or something in your flat breaks, or you have to pay a penance. So for these unpredictable situations, it's smart to have at least 3 months of income or average cost saved up. If you're interested in personal finances, you can watch this video next. It's about 4 important numbers that you need to know. Subscribe if you like, and I hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.